Welcome back to All in All Podcast. There is no limitation to the conversation. Same old, been at work. Today we have the biggest I am him performances in Champs history. So like the criteria is pretty much like super big races. Not just by the performance, but just like the story behind the performance. Like what made this race so exciting? What made this race such a big thing? Why was it so like anticipated? What made it so big to watch? So the first race we are kick it off. Oh, it's no specific order, but the first race we are kick it off with is Class 2 100 meter. Vashon Vasiana versus Tariq Stenneth. Lot of people know the backstory behind this, but this was one of the most hyped up races at Champs this year. Because the reason it's one of the I am him performances because Vashon was obviously everybody knows class hurdler. He easily had a gold medal in hurdles. What a lot of people don't remember or don't know was in that season he was running the best 200s. Honestly, I don't think anybody would beat him. Not even think, I'm almost positive nobody would beat him in the 200 meter if he decided that he wanted to run the 200. At that time, the rule for champs was just coming in like you can only do two events and a relay. And everyone was thinking, okay, Vashon Vasiana is going to do the hurdles and the 200 meter, sure win. That's easy. Blah, blah, blah. Vashon Vasiana decided, no, I am going into the 100 meter with the guy that ran 10-3 last year. All odds were stacked against him. He literally lost the race like at Digital Grand Prix like a couple of weeks before champs. Stenneth win both CR7 celebration, like a bunch of things. So everybody was like, Vashon is just like coming out of place. Why never just run 110 hurdles and 200? And he was like, this is what I'm doing. He was like, this is what I'm doing. And he did it. And the rest is history. I'm gonna allow you guys to watch the race and just see like how he dominated this field and how he won the race.
Kawaji and Kume hasn't looked 100% at this championship in the sprints. Can he deliver in his first year in Class 2?
He ran well in the semi-finals.
The fastest a Class 2 boy has ever gone over 100 meters. It's 10.20 seconds at Champs. That was 2018. What will 2019 deliver? They're all on their mark. Set position now. Set to win now. A good start for Vashon.
As you guys can see, like, I don't know if anybody's thinking about that, but Stenneth beat this man a couple weeks ago. Him do the CR celebration. This man beats the man in the National Stadium Champs Finals, and he stands up and do the CR7 celebration again, looking out into the crowd, runs to his mother, saying, "Mommy, I told you I would beat him." Has to be one of the races in the books for sure, There's no questioning that. Definitely one of the biggest races ever. So yeah. Alright, one of the other races that are in the mix right now, we have Michael Stevens, Class 2 100 meter. For most people, almost everybody, they had Digital winning this race. Digital still had like faulty starts and all of that. But it wasn't just the comparison with Digital why this is a I am him race. It's the fact that Michael Stevens wasn't the first or second string sprinter for Calabar. He was possibly third, fourth string. And for this race, Michael Stevens had people in the stands wearing I am Team Michael Stevens shirts. Before the race, he had those shirts printed. Everybody was like, this kid is delusional. Like, if Digital gets up even close to him, Digital is winning this race. Well, Michael Stevens had something else to say. He came out, he went in the blocks. I'm gonna let you guys watch the race for yourself, but he went in the blocks and the rest is history.
Champion. He's in lane 6, but Michael Stevens looked so good in qualifying. He's in 4. Chisholm Gordon, 7th last year of Jamaica College, is in 5. Last 2 boys, 100 meters final. St. John first time.
Oh! It starts to open up for the race, like The draw is closing as everybody expected him to. But he comes across the line, he beats his chest, and now he points up into the KC stands. Runs over to Calabar. Like, that race had the stadium in a frenzy. And as I said, not just because, oh, Michael Stevens won, but just the fact that he had shirts printed. This race, I can talk about this race personally. Champs 1500. Anybody who was in Jamaica in this time of track and field knew about Armani Rogers. Everybody was talking about him. Oh, Casey, get the guys from Africa to run left everybody, and throughout the season he was dominating. Nobody could touch him. Like, he was that guy. He was the guy to beat. Calabar comes out, as you guys can see. These guys are leading the race from the start. Like, they came with like some strategy. Everybody in their heads like watching the race like, oh, they not make no sense. Like, obviously the African is going to catch them, blah 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 blah. No, everybody's like, even the commentators, like, if you can hear the race or if you can like even watch over the race at like a different time from the video, you'll hear the commentators saying, will they be able to hold on? Will they be able to hold on? Rogers is race stronger. They should depend on their kick and try to kick past Rogers. Just like going against the strategy that they were using. It's alright. The race is continuing. I'm going to allow you guys to continue watching the race.
Yes. In the lead, Farquharson 151.26 early in the championships, with Venson second and Rogers starting to approach.
So, Keepmar Farquharson of Calabar with the advantage. Aria Mania Rogers takes closer orders. Renardo Johnson of St. Jago is right up there. And those two go by the Calabar boys, who are relegated to third and fourth at the moment.
They've tried to work.
So literally, as this is happening, when Rogers starts to pass the Calabar guys, everybody's like, see, I'm telling them. See, I told you guys they couldn't beat them. This is exactly what I knew was going to happen. The Calabar boys, them run themselves out the race. Keep on watching the race. I'm not even going to say too much. Keep on watching the race.
Aria Mania Rogers, this is where he really starts to turn it on. The problem for the Calabar boys, can they stay with him enough to use their...
There they go again. The problem with the Calabar boys, can they stay with him? Like, it's just big question. Like, everybody's wondering, what are these guys doing? Like, this African is so strong, you should never even think of trying to outrun him, blah blah blah. I'm telling you, like, everybody in the stadium is like, oh, this is stupid. They should have never done this. It's an awful race strategy. But Calabar's coach and these two guys, they had a different plan. Bell lap comes now, and to everybody's surprise, Venson is still picking it up. It's still early though, so people are still saying like, yeah, he can't hold on. He's gonna be blown out by the time they get on the home straight. Still allowing you guys to watch the race. Venson is picking up. Everybody's going silent now. Like, what is happening? Calabar crowd start going crazy because everybody knows Venson has a way better kick than Rogers. So the fact that he's this close to him so late in the race is probably like, why is he this close to me? Why is he this close to the African? They come to the straight now, and as you guys can see, this man runs past the man and look over. Oh my god. Champs nice. Champs is nice. Look at the man. Open up the gap. Open up the gap. And with a Champs record. Oh my word. Beautiful race. Beautiful race. Honestly, probably one of my favorite races. Like, one of my, from this video, because I'm not ranking it, but probably one of my like favorite races from these videos. Alright, now we have the 200 meter class 2 boys. Backstory, Sachin ran 10-2 a couple nights before this race. As you guys can see in the race, Sachin is gone. He's blown the field away. Like, Sachin is obviously like, you guys are watching this, I don't have to keep on saying it, but it's just like, it's crazy how much space he had. Anthony Wassing's at 7th about at this point. Look at this. This man closes. This man closes, looks over. And he's like, I knew I would win. The reason why this is such a big I am him performance is because Sachin ran 10-2 a couple nights before. Any other person thinking this guy ran 10-2, he's on crazy 200-meter form. That is one. Secondly, I personally went over to the Petersfield tent the night before the race and I said I'm betting $20,000. I never forgot, I was like 14 at the time. I went over to the Petersfield tent. He was getting a massage. And I said I'm betting 20,000 on this race. And I was talking to Antonio's masseuse. Antonio on the bed getting a massage night before. The night of Sachin's 10-2, I think. Antonio's on the bed getting the massage and he says, don't lose your money, I can't lose. I don't know if you remember this, but I never forgot it. He said, don't bet your money, I cannot lose. This is the confidence this man had after a kid just ran 10-2 in the 100 meters. And this man said, do not bet your money, I cannot lose. And he wasn't just talking, because he did not lose. And that is why this race stands out to me so much, because he made his talk, he saved me $20,000, and he did it in style, coming from all the way at the back to run past this man. That kid's forever a talent. I think he's one of the prospects. Antonio Watson, I feel like in the years to come he will be one of the world beaters, but definitely one of the biggest races in Champs history, for me personally. Alright, class 3 200 meter. And you think, what could be happening in a class 3 race that makes somebody that is so outstanding? These guys are kids. Well, before this race, Raheem Scott does, he false start in the 400 meter. But he's like, why would you false start? Because he was expected to win the 400 meter as well. He's like, I'm saving my legs for Stenneth, he is too hype. Look at this man walk down this man. I don't even have words to explain this. Imagine somebody false starts in their race, openly makes it known, I am false starting my race, so I have the legs to beat Stenneth, he is too hype. Beats his chest, leaves you a loser at the time. All of these guys are talent, so this is no disrespect. Leaves him a loser, the KC crowd is silent. He looks over, look at the kid. He looks over and starts shaking his head. They thought I was gonna lose. Look at the man. Wow. And he just shoots over into the crowd. Wow. Bam. Crazy race. That just confidence. Even though I said, like in the other video, that the Venson race is probably one of my favorite races from this, I know from a Jamaican standpoint, this is probably the most memorable Champs moment for a lot of people. Bloomfield is hawking this man down. Bloomfield ran 44 this year. Bloomfield passes the man. Everybody's like, obviously that KC fans were like, at this time I was not at Kingston College student as yet, but I was over at the Calabar part of the stands, and everybody was like silent. KC fans, they were making a bunch of noise, because obviously they're saying big man, like boy oh boy. Here comes Christopher Taylor, the youngster. I think he was in class 2 here, running past this 6 foot, about 11 figure. Like, obviously I'm exaggerating, but he ran past this tall guy and everybody was like, this kid is amazing, because this man was running 44. Bear in mind, this was a crazy gap to close in the first place. Akeem Bloomfield did a great job. There was nothing more he could do in this situation. Nothing at all. I don't feel like there was nothing else he could do. But it's just crazy, like, a lot of people that like shy away from the race and just accept defeat. Not Christopher Taylor, and then the biggest stage, the final race at Champs, he steps up after getting passed, like, not just passed and like traveling to stay with him. Akeem Bloomfield passed this guy and he went. He was not waiting on anybody. And Taylor was like, alright, I'm coming back for you. Came on the straight, passed him, and the crowd went crazy. Like, in the video you can hear the horns. They went crazy. Calabar fans went crazy, and I feel like that is by Jamaica. I feel like I'm looking in the comments, looking to hear what you guys have to say about the video and stuff, but I think in the comments this is gonna be one of the most like talked about races. Like, a lot of people remember this. It's a very nostalgic moment for a lot of people. I know, like, everybody remember this race. It was just that type of race, and it's in the books for me. Alright, this race, the build up to this race wasn't as big for anybody but the Belfield kid, because he was running, he was leaving everybody far. Heats, semis, in the season, he was just the guy to beat. Everybody was like, this kid, he's a crazy talent, nobody can beat him. And sorry about that, he's a crazy talent, nobody can beat him. I want all you guys to watch the race, and I'll talk about it while it's happening. But as you can see, he's going away with the race from the start. He did, and this was how he ran all season. He didn't wait on anybody. He didn't look like he strategized very much. Bear in mind, these are still kids. I think this was class, nothing. This was class 3. 13, 14-year-olds. So there wasn't much strategizing taking place. But this kid was going and he was gone. This is a 13-year-old going in his first lap at 58, 57. And everybody's like, he's doing what we expected him to do. He's winning this race by a mile. As you guys can see right now, Jacon Coke from Kingston College is in 3rd place. I don't know if anybody's looking at the meters, but there's literally like, I'd say probably from my eyesight, 50 meters. There's like a 50-meter gap right now. Yeah, he's in the middle of the curve and Jacon was just on the curve. So like probably 50-40 meter gap. And all of a sudden, Jacon Coke starts kicking. And he looks like he's not tired at all. And everybody's like, what the hell is happening? Even coming on the straight, he's probably at like 40 minutes left in the race. Jacon has 100. And he's just closing, and he just, in his head, I could catch this kid. And that he did. Look at that. Hawk points up into the crowd. 158. Crazy. Crazy. One of the biggest races in champs all time. And then Kingston College won that year. There was something in the Kingston College camp that year. I had just transferred to KC that year. And I remember like the mood in the camp, everything, like nobody was thinking limits. Kingston College naturally doesn't think limits, but it was just crazy. Like there was so much crazy things happening. And that race, like if you talk to any Kingston College old boy, anybody who watched track and field at that time, they will tell you, Jacon Coke, that kid did something that made me believe in miracles. He did something that shows heart and grit. Wonderful, wonderful race. Matter of fact, this race wasn't even on YouTube, and how much I needed this race to be in the video. I was going around asking people, can you find this video? And it was Jacon Coke himself that sourced the video to send to me. I needed this race in the video, and this race is what I Am Him stands for. I don't care what anybody thinks, I'm going to win this race, and so he did. Great, great, great race. This is the boys class 1 800 meter 2019. Arguably, this was the most anticipated race at Champs that year. I know in my circle it was one of the most anticipated races at Champs, because you just couldn't tell who was going to win. Honestly, you couldn't tell, because Terry Taylor was running fast, the guy from Belfield was running fast, Roden is a madman. As you guys can see, Roden literally run the first 100 of an 800 meter like he wanted to run 10. The race like was just crazy. Nobody knew who was going to win. You had Blackman from JC, you had Fullerton from JC. This was probably one of the, not probably, this was one of the most stacked, this was the most stacked 800 meter race I believe in history. Anybody in this race could win. Literally anybody in the race could win. You had 5-6 people in the race that could win on their best day. No form of large separation couldn't take place. Everybody had to be thinking, okay, this is what I'm going to do. In Roden's head, because as I said, at that time I was just transferring to KC, I was in the camps. Roden was like, I am going out there to sprint. If I have to sprint the whole 800 and dead and come last, I'm going to come last. And if I win, I win. I'm going out there to sprint. You guys can see it now. He's coming around, he's kicking. He kicked to start the race, he's kicking to come home. And Farkas is just there. Farkas is just there, calm. Roden's out in lane 2. Honestly, I feel like he shouldn't have been doing that. But Farkas is just there, calm. Look at his face, smooth, calm, controlled. Everybody else showing teeth, grimace. Farkas is like, nah. Then he just opens up, starts to extend. Wins. Walk off, normal. Put his hands up in the air, 2 hands. What did you guys expect? This is what I do. Look in the camera. Hush. This is what I do. In the biggest race at Champs this year, on the biggest stage for Jamaican high school athletes, Ferguson shows up. He shows up and he's showing his hand like, what did you expect? This is what I do. One of the biggest I Am Him performances for sure. And yeah,